Now, on that point about internet addiction and cybersecurity, we're going to start our show off with that. Joining us is CF Fong, CEO and cybersecurity consultant, LGMS. CF, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thanks, Lane. Hi, Jamila.
Before we get into the news, right, are you addicted to the internet, you think? I mean, I assume that a lot of your work happens online.
I guess I have to confess, I think many of us, including myself, are more or less addicted, in a way, forced to be addicted to the net. I mean, most of the time we are spending our time online meetings anyway nowadays.
So let's then start by looking at what the minister said, right? Which is that internet addiction and lack of parental oversight has increased cybersecurity threats for younger users. Could you help us understand this link between internet addiction and cybersecurity issues?
Yeah, I mean, based on my view, I think addiction means that you spend a lot more time. In fact, most of the time spent online. Now, when you're spending most of your time online, your exposure get larger. Now, many cybersecurity issues today have one way or another relating to spending too much time online. For example, we're looking at issues like gambling, online gaming, cyberbullying, even cyber grooming by the pedophiles. So there's a lot of social issues actually exist, when more of us are getting online and conduct our daily lives online nowadays. So we can share a little bit more, later.
Maybe you can help by giving us a scope of the issue, right? How big an issue is this here in Malaysia?
I think it's a major issue everywhere, not just in Malaysia. As long as any countries that have internet access, fast internet access, the same kind of issues, internet addictions, will apply to them as well. So I don't think we are isolated in Malaysia, but everywhere. There are many issues when it comes to addiction. So in our course of work, we do come across many social issues, like we have received requests to help people, teenagers who share their nude pictures online because they spend too much time, they spend a lot of time online, building social network and meeting with people, chatting with strangers. So a lot of these kind of similar issues actually getting piling up. And we are seeing the trend here, and not just for younger people, but for older folks as well. Older folks have other types of issues.
Now, if we look at the group of people that this particular report is about, what are the dangers of children and teenagers spending too much time online?
Well, I think when it comes to teenagers and children, I think the biggest concern, for me as well, I'm as a parent, I think it's the kind of exposure that they are facing. For example, nobody wants the underage children to see pornographic content online, and nobody wants our children to see violence or drug abuse content online. And without proper control, it's very hard to prevent, and it's inevitable that among the children they can just see some of this content easily by just typing a URL, by just searching some keywords. So there has to be some way for parents and supervisors to help our children to protect them from some of these kind of exposures.
If we look at the online security stuff, right, some of the things they mentioned were surrendering sensitive information, as you say, viewing inappropriate content, but also concerns about online transactions and things like that. Can you talk to us about the specific issues related to younger people and online security or breaches of security?
Well, breaches of security, I think younger people, they're no different than older folks. I mean, some of the issues that we see are their credentials, personal credentials, password, easily trusting strangers, sharing their personal data to strangers, personal data including their pictures, private pictures, home address, and all this personal information. And this can be a serious risk. Other than that, I think long-time exposure of the internet also is training our younger generation to have much shorter time spent attention. And anything that they do not know, just trust the search engine. Whatever the search engine says is always like the absolute truth. So in fact, this is a very major topic. I have to classify them from a security perspective, right? I would say from a security standpoint, if we are addicted to the internet, I think our children are addicted to the internet. The first thing I would say is that we have to understand what kind of content are they seeing? What kind of apps are they using? And who are the people they have been interacting with on the internet? I think these are the few points as parents that we need to pay special attention on.
So if I could expand on that, actually, are there particular activities that younger people might basically get up to online, whether it's things like gaming or certain types of apps or websites that they might access, that perhaps carry a larger security risk issue?
Oh, yes. There are many. In fact, in the gaming world, online gaming worlds, younger generation who are actively participating in online gamings, there are scams happening in the gaming world. People are transacting among each others. Of course, scams is one thing. And then people also trading not just on currencies, but also trading personal private pictures. like, pictures of your personal past and all that. So there's a lot of implications of this online gaming. Also, that's why online gaming itself is not really, on the surface, is not really a big issue. But if we spend too much time in the online world, and children are doing a lot of other activities as parents or supervisor may not be aware of.
We have a WhatsApp from Siemens who wants to know, with the trend of moving towards the metaverse, I mean, how is this just going to get more complicated, right? This question of internet addiction and security.
I think it's definitely it's going to get more complicated because all of us will be spending more time online, doing our daily tasks. And with the emerge of Metaverse, I think we need to have some kind of controls in place, even for now.
So the word controls has come up a number of times already. What sorts of tools or measures are there to monitor or control how young people use the internet?
Well, I think as parents and supervisors, what we wanted to know is that we wanted to have our children to expose to the right content, right information online, when they surf online. There are many parental control software available in the market. Even there are free software available that comes together with our phones, comes together with Android, comes together with Apple iOS. I think all parents need to know the existence of such tools and make use of the tools. The tools will allow the parents or supervisor to understand the utilizations of the device, of the phones or the tablets. What are the screen time, the children has been utilizing for. So there are also third-party tools that are commercially available to provide the parents more granular assessment on the children's activity, and also impose stricter controls to what kind of exposure the children can get.
But how effective are these tools in keeping ahead of younger users, especially teenagers? I don't think children so much, but teenagers, right? Because young folks are often more internet savvy than the people who will be employing the parental controls.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You see some of these free tools that comes together with the phone. Like, for example, I'm just using one real example. Google that provides a tool called Family Link. Now, you can use Family Link to restrict what website a child can see and what website a child cannot go to. But the thing is, the tools only control the Chrome browser. So if the teen is smart enough, right, the teen could have installed another browser and use another browser to go to other places. So that's why I would still suggest the parents or supervisors to go and explore third-party commercially available tools. Now, third-party commercially available tools are far more superior and much better in terms of allowing the parents to apply the controls onto the phone rather than the free one that comes with the phone.
So what needs to happen to build greater awareness in young people when it comes to digital security issues?
Well, again, this is a very big topic. I would suggest, right, first of all, as a parents and supervisor, we need to stay abreast of what is going on the World Wide Web. We need to know what is going on right now. And from a country's perspective, I think we need to review and refresh our education systems because cybersecurity issues, we need to incorporate cybersecurity and awareness topics into our syllabus. We need to help our younger generation to recognize the full aspects of the internet, the pros and cons, and parents need to spend more time with your children and guide them and help them to understand the risks and bad elements that exist in the World Wide Web. And I think a lot of these have to start from the parents ourselves. And if the government can do anything, I would strongly advocate the government to improve our education system to incorporate more security ideas into the syllabus.
CF, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.